Folks, of all the songs I've ever written in my whole life, this is my favorite. I published over 600 songs in Nashville. And for those of you that are new to the show, my songs have been cut by legends. I've had my songs cut by people like George Jones and Etta James and Janice Ian, Randy Travis, T. Graham Brown, Leroy Parnell, a whole bunch of folks. But nobody cut this song. Nobody in Nashville liked this song at all. But for 20 years, it's been my most requested song out there. Everybody out there knows the guy on this song. It'll remind you of somebody you know. It's called An Educated Man. There were a few books on his shelf, Zane Grey, and a Bible, nothing else. He never went too far in school. He always thought himself a fool. So much he couldn't understand. They give him a torch and some metal rod. He could weld anything in this world by God. When it came to working with his hands, he was an educated man. He was a master of his trade. Could fix anything ever made with his hands. Smarter than most PhDs. He could build anything we see with his hands. He was an educated man. He never traveled very far. He only used his car to pick up parts. And the only world he knew was his shop and all his tools and all the work he left to do. Hey, give him a hammer and a box of nails. He could build you a wagon or a ship that sails. When it came to working with his hands, it's your song. He was an educated man. He was a master of his trade. Could fix anything ever made with his hands. Smarter than most PhDs. He could build anything you see with his hands. He was an educated man. While he was here, he taught me all he knew. And then he left me all his tools. Here I am with his old chisel in my hand, and I'm carving, here lies an educated man. He was a master of his trade, fixed anything ever made with his hands. Smarter than most PhDs. He could build anything you see with his hands. He was an educated, I know who you're thinking about. He was an educated man. And I know who you're thinking about. Like spawners, y'all come up here in masks, and the Reds do too. It goes like this here. On the caribou tundra, in the wild barren land, on the fierce Arctic ice where the polar bears stand, where the trail of the Eskimo hunter is worn, this is the country where legends are born. Where the northern lights blaze above a cold Arctic haze, caribou come to an old shaman's drum. In saloons and in dance halls they talked of the gold. There were stories of fortune, stories of coal. Ah, the trail of the weary gold miner is worn. This is the country where legends are born. Where they measured a man by the gold in his hand, by the speed of his gun, by the dogs he would run. You know, they came here to settle and to build a new land. In her mountains, in her valleys, in their cabins they stand. Trail of the hardy homesteader is worn. This is the country where legends are born. All these fields you see now were broke by their plow, and their children have grown to build homes of their own. On the caribou tundra, in the wild barren land, on the fierce Arctic ice where the polar bears stand, where the trail of the Eskimo hunter is worn. This is the country where legends are born. This is the country where legends are born. I love that song. You know what, folks? This is my favorite time of year, except maybe not. There's some things I don't really. I vacuum sealed 50 fish today. But you know, it's what we do best up here. You know, we like catching things and killing things and vacuum sealing things. I'm good. I'm good. And you know, this time of year we're pickling fish, smoking fish, vacuum sealing fish. In a few more weeks we'll be getting fall berries, and then in a couple weeks after that we'll be going out and putting some furry things in the freezer. If you do it right, you don't have to buy too much from the grocery store. Have an easy winter. This song is called The Wilderness Way. Well, the fire is stoked, fish are all smoked, there's a barn full of good summer hay. There's still wood to be split for the winter winds hit. There ain't never enough time in a day. When my work is over and I've earned my keep, well, it's back to the cabin to stay. I'll let the timber wolf sing me to sleep. Now that wasn't bad, but that's kind of like timber puppies. Let's try that again. I'll let the timber wolf sing me to sleep. That's the wilderness way. I got jellies and jams, vegetables canned, and a crock of home brew by the door. There's a moose on the lake. If I'm still shooting straight, well, I won't need a thing from the store. When my work is over and I've earned my keep, well, it's back to the cabin to stay. I'll let the timber wolf sing me to sleep. That's the wilderness way. Neighbor dropped in, he asked if I'd lend him a hand. He's been running behind. Tomorrow is his, out here that's how it is, for it just might be me the next time. When my work is over and I've earned my keep, well, it's back to the cabin to stay. I'll let the timber wolf sing me to sleep. You know, that's going to change a lot by the end of the night. I'll let the timber wolf sing me to sleep. That's the wilderness way. That's the wilderness way. You know, folks, this is my 45th year of playing music on the Kenai Peninsula and writing songs about Alaska. Now this song is curriculum in the Alaska school systems and many other school systems around the country. There are schools in Anchorage that you could not go from 2nd to 3rd grade unless you know this. So I'm going to find out who are the educated ones out there. You know the song? Way up in Alaska, the state that stands alone, there's a dog race run from Anchorage in and out. It's a grueling race with a lightning pace with a chilly winds do wail. Neath the northern lights cross snow on the ice, it's called the Iditarod Trail. We'll give me a team and a good lead dog and a sled that's built so fine. Let me race those miles to know 1049. When I get back to my home, hey, I can tell my tale. There's my third graders. I did it right. Well, the racing won't be easy for the masters of the trail. Some of them will make it and some of them will fail. Just to run that race takes a tough and hardy breed, and a lot of work done by the dogs that run across snow with a whistling speed. Well, give me a team and a good lead dog and a sled that's built so fine. Let me race those miles to know 1049. When I get back to my home, hey, I can tell my tale. I did the Iditarod Trail. This is Rachel's song, huh? Well, I just pulled out of safety. I'm on the trail all alone. Doing fine, picking up time and running on in and no. There are no sled tracks in front of me and no one on my tail. I did the Iditarod Trail. Give me a team. Seth Barnes, the other musher, right there. Here he goes. Well, give me a team and a good lead dog and a sled that's built so fine.
And let me run those miles to know 1049. And when I get back to my home, I can tell my tale. I did that.
You know, folks, have you ever seen that movie about the Jamaican bobsledders? You know? Well, Seth's kind of that way. He's from Alabama and he's a dog musher. Could you tell by that accent thing? Well, give me a team and a good lead dog and a sled that's built so fine. Let me race those miles to know 1049. When I get back to my home, hey, I can tell my tale. I did the Iditarod Trail. One more time. One more time.